Warning. This show contains naughty language, adult themes, and may contain mentions of... Listener discretion is advised. The church is not affiliated with or endorses this show in any way.
Bite it off.
No!
The scariest spider in the world? Charlotte. If you know English, that means you can think. And if you can think, you can plan.
There was this big flash of light and no sound. An odd flash of light that penetrated the room. What if the neuroscience is reacting to something supernatural? What if the supernatural knows we're susceptible now because our neuroscience is susceptible? I finally learned, don't wiggle you on your upper body because you'll swing at me. Yep. So instead, I wiggle your foot.
I leave the house. Okay, look, I have a set routine.
When you take a shower as a kid, that's the one place you clean the most with a lot of rubbing.
I clean the hell out of that
There's no
thing.
way it's getting dirty.
I was just told some stories that weird shit would go down. And,
Weird shit wasn't your uncle's name, was it?
It was his nickname. His nickname for me was Compliant.
I wake up in the middle of the night. My body cannot move. I feel a presence behind me.
Or if you could look up, a fuck date with Xenu, kind of a meet cute sort of a thing, like, I'll bang the shit out of an alien. I've always wanted to. If you have the hookup on that, I will film that porno.
I mean, we could just import one if you want an alien.
Alien Gonzales, actually. Does he have citizenship yet?
I don't know. I heard something about that.
Curious about whether or not he's become
Did the alien make it?
I don't know.
Can you imagine, though, like, trying to hide Alien Gonzales and someone's like, excuse me, son, are you an illegal alien? He's like, no. He's like, what is your name?
My name is
Alien. Wait, what?
Wasn't there something someone was telling me about, like, in New York or something? You could get, like, a fine or something, like hate speech fine or something, for calling someone an illegal alien.
Yes.
Why? They have illegally immigrated here. I'm okay with it on a certain level. I don't agree with Trump, and I think people should come here legally, but I think we need to expand the legal routes. I think it's way too hard to come here, and I think we've got enough fucking space, and our shit needs to get fixed, but illegal aliens aren't the goddamn problem. The problem are awful, evil corporations that rule everyone and treat them all and subjugate everybody equally. But yeah, that's illegal aliens are not the problem. I don't think Alien Gonzales was a threat.
It's not a problem. I mean, it's not this huge ass problem. Like everyone's like, oh my god, illegal aliens are taking everyone's jobs and this and that. That's not actually a thing. Like to actually legitimately have a job, you have to have a social security number or a legal resident alien card. Technically, to have a job or get any government sponsorship, anything from government.
I disagree. I have worked in the restaurant industry, cooks, bus boys.
Yeah, I've worked in the same industry.
But at the end of the day, they are some of the coolest people that I've ever met. And I would rather share a burger with Enrique than share a burger with most anybody.
Dude, the homies I work with in the back of my kitchen now are fucking cool ass dudes that work motherfucking hard and they teach me a lot and they got my back, dude. Yeah. That's all I can fucking ask for. Like, I'd rather have them than some asshole who fucking comes in, thinks his shit doesn't stink and doesn't have the fear of God put in him. Talking shit. Fuck it.
I've worked with so many different people, and it was like one coworker who actually had to leave, which was really sad because it was they actually found out he was not using his real name and his real social, and it kind of sucks because he was one of the best coworkers. But they didn't basically turn him in. They didn't go, hey, call INS. They didn't do any of that. They're like, hey, they brought him in the office and they told him. They said, hey, we found out basically that you are not who you're saying you are.
Yeah.
And I mean, technically that's fraud. I mean, he could have been arrested.
Yeah, but they don't want to fuck people's lives up.
Yeah, my old company was just they're like, look, here's the we got to let you go. We're giving you your final pay. We're doing all that. I hope you square away all your personal stuff. We're not going to say anything. Yeah. Hopefully you square away all that with whatever you're doing, and hopefully whoever was, you know them and you can take care of that and they are okay with this. And I mean, it was literally a cousin of his and he was supporting his cousin. His cousin really couldn't work anyways, so it was just his cousin lived with him. So, I mean, technically he was using his cousin's identity and keeping each other afloat,
Man,
you know?
he's keeping even his family alive. Like, I don't have a problem with people keeping each other alive.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'd do the same shit. If this place sucked and I needed to mob it to Canada, I'd fake documents. I'd keep my fucking family alive.
Yeah.
I'd do the same shit, bro.
The one thing about Canada, though, is they're fine with us coming over. I mean,
I have a DUI. They don't want me.
Welcome to Monkey Goo and Other Delights. We have a special episode tonight.
Like a mongoloid child. Special. He said special. Can you still use the word mongoloid, or is that their word? Can they pronounce it?
I think mongoloid is a, I think that's still okay. I mean, retard is not good. Mung is not good.
Hey, retards are people too.
Whoa.
With the not good
Retard
thing.
is not a word. You can't use retard anymore?
Sean, do you have any incidences in your life where you think either whether it could be explained by science or not, is there anything paranormal in your life that has made you go, Like, what makes you go,
Oh, no. I mean, I've lived in a few places, you know, where there'd be quite a few bumps in the nights. And it'd be funny, like, you'd actually sit things down. Like, you know where you sit your stuff every day. Like, you come in, like, I'd come into my house and I'd sit the exact same stuff every day. Doesn't happen where I'm at now, but at previous places I lived, like Panorama, for example, my Panorama place, like, I'd come home, I'd sit all my stuff in, like, on my table, like I normally do. It's like the coffee table. Every day I'd sit it right there, take everything out. I'd put my wallet, put the keys. It's like clockwork. And it was like some nights I'd come in and just be like, I'd put them there. Wake up in the morning, and I'd go, and it's not there, it's in the kitchen. And I'd go, why is it in the kitchen?
That shit happens to me all the time, too, and, like, it's not a ghost, it's the fact that I smoke pot.
Well, I'd be completely sober. Coming into my house,
I don't buy
completely sober.
Not
like,
buying
just
it.
after a day of work, I'd just be like, boom. And then I would go outside, and then go chill with the homies. Because I'd always put my stuff away. I'd drop the beer, and then I'd go out in there, and then I'd put my stuff away.
We live in a Panorama. It's pretty clear.
Well, yeah, like I'm gonna pick up all my stuff and take it into the kitchen, cracked out.
I would not
That
put it
doesn't make
past you.
sense.
I would not put it past you.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past me, but that
By the way,
doesn't make
this
sense.
brings up my biggest pet
And
peeve
that
when I
happened
was
a bunch
living
of
with you.
things.
My biggest pet peeve when I was living with you, we were roommates for a good long time, is this
I hide
motherfucker
shit.
would come home and just put all of his shit on the fucking coffee table. Shit would be all over. He had drawers. He was home a lot. He could have cleaned out drawers, put his shit in the drawers, but he put his shit all over the coffee tables. I'm like, dude, it's kind of the common space. Please don't put shit all over the coffee tables. He'd be like, no, I don't have anywhere else to put it. I'm like, you have drawers. He'd be like, well, they're not accessible. They're broken. I'm like, they're accessible. Just clean them out and take the shit off the top, and you can put shit in your drawers.
So basically, you
You put
just...
this shit on top
The
of
thing
them.
is, I'm one of those people, like, I leave the house. Okay, look, I have a set routine. I take off my hat, I throw everything into it, I leave it on the coffee table. You know why? Because it's in sight. So when I wake up, I grab the shit I need for the day, which are my keys, my wallet, whatever else I needed, and my hat. Boom,
But you
I'm out the
make
door.
it routine to go to the
Yeah.
go to the drawer, because you'll have nothing.
Because the drawer, I might not go into the
All right,
drawer.
so-
Why would
I
you
might forget
forget
about the
your
drawer.
keys, your
I have
wallet,
literally
everything?
walked out of the
How would
apartment.
you forget all of
I
the
walked out of the
things
apartment
that you
without my
need
keys
to go outside
because my
with?
keys weren't in the freaking hat.
Oh, there
All right, so I'm going to interrupt this lover's quarrel. Sean, your case of moving objects, I think Matt just has proven that it was probably just a case of your absent-mindedness
For fucking getting.
or sloppiness.
Hold on,
And then
hold on.
forgetting.
Hold on, to even be honest about this even more. I've had female friends who've come over to my place there.
You've had
I
female
don't
friends?
buy it.
Yeah, and
What's that like?
Shenanigans.
I did the exact same thing. I put my stuff, and they put their purse there. Then we have fun, pass out, wake up, and it's like our shit is like maybe in like my kitchenette or like on the freaking kitchen table. It's not on the table. We fucking left this shit. So how's that work?
So Matt, do you have any stories where like maybe you like saw something or you just like what the like anything that made you question?
Well,
reality.
You know what? I watched. I once was told back when I was 18 years old. This is like almost fucking 15 years ago. Or 20 almost. Jesus. I was told that if we watched The Omen, weird things would happen. Like I was warned
Like
that
what?
if you watch The Omen, weird things. I was just told some stories, and I forgot what they were. That weird shit would go down. So me and my friends all say fuck that shit, and we're all in the back room. My mom's out of town. We're all in her room, and we put on The Omen.
Wait, hold on.
And,
Weird shit wasn't your uncle's name, was it?
it was his nickname. His nickname for
so
me was...
weird shit's gonna go down.
His nickname for me was Compliant.
Uncle Giggles.
I thought that was a little prophetic, but...
Back to the Omen, sorry.
Back to the Omen. that's a good omen there. We went to watch the Omen, and we're about 10 minutes into the film, and I'm not finding it terribly interesting or scary. I hear it's a good movie. I still haven't watched it to this day for this reason.
I've never seen the Omen.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, dude, I've never seen the Omen.
Don't judge me.
Yeah. Don't judge me. I gotta tell that story. Yeah.
Never watched the Omen.
I've never watched the Omen all the way through. Here's why. Hold on. Here's why. Is we turned it on, and my mom had this big sliding glass door in her room, and it went to a big deck in the backyard. And there was this big flash of fucking light and no sound. Just, an unmistakable, odd flash of light that penetrated the room. And we all went, whoa. And we paused it, and we were like, what the fuck was that? So I go out to investigate on the deck, and I'm wandering around, and then as I'm wandering around trying to look for what caused this flash of light, I'm looking up in the sky, I'm looking around the ground. A friend of mine hits this can light that is the only lighting source out there because our lights sucked out there. There was no electrical out there. We just had an extension cord running to this can light, and he flips on this can light, and right as he flips on this can light, I am inches away from a gigantic spider web that spans about a 12-foot radius, maybe more, give or take, maybe 15 feet, from the end of the deck to the beginning of the deck. And this spider web is massive.
Yeah.
And right in front of my nose is this giant red fucking spider, a couple of centimeters away from my face. And I'm like, oh, shit. And my friend goes, oh, fuck. And I'm like, turn off the Omen. Turn off the Omen now. We're not watching the Omen. He's like, no, fuck that shit, hard no. And we turn off the fucking Omen, man. We're not watching that shit. Me and all my friends, we were like 4 friends there watching it that night. And this one girl was just like totally with us and adamant that we were not going to watch the Omen after that. Because that's a bad fucking omen, man. Yeah. I'm not doing that juju.
The scariest spider in the world. The scariest spider in the world.
The banana spider?
Charlotte from Charlotte's Web.
Think
about it.
Fuck that thing.
Charlotte from Charlotte's Web knows how to write. So she is a sentient being which knows English. And if you know English, that means you can think. And if you can think, you can plan. Now, at the very end of the book, Charlotte had, 1 million kids? That is 1 million spiders out there right now. They all know how to plan. So right now, Charlotte has...
I don't care if it puts murder, MRUDRE.
20% of those webs are
or even if they spell it backwards,
still, you can figure it out.
red rum. They are still spelling, and they are thinking. They're thinking spiders.
I want to see the new The Shining sequel movie with starring Ewan McGregor, because that motherfucker could read a phone book and I'd watch it.
I don't know.
Dr. Sleep.
I don't know.
Dr. Sleep.
Okay.
He goes back to the hotel. You know what?
I actually have a weird thing I gotta actually say.
Hold on. Matt, you have proven that you know your Stephen King.
Yeah.
You have attempted to read it, and even though you don't really care for it, you have at least attempted.
Yeah, man.
What I'm afraid of for Dr. Sleep is they're not just making a sequel to the movie Shining. They're making the book.
They're amalgamizing the book and the movie. I want to see if they can pull it off.
They're taking the book and mashing it up and with the movie. Now, I'm a fan of the book. I love the book. Unfortunately, the movie doesn't fit the book, and the book sequel does not
the filmmaker
fit.
Took painstaking
I hope it should.
To amalgamize the book and the movie, and to not make, and the movie goes based off the first movie, but it also takes the second book into account, and takes the first book into account in creative ways, so that you're not taken out of the picture by taking into account the first book. I want to see this because Ewan McGregor, I'll watch him read a fucking phone book. He's the only reason the prequel Star Wars were any fucking watchable.
I watched the Winnie the Pooh movie because of him.
He was in the Winnie. Oh, that's right.
Dude, he was Christopher Robin, and he was amazing.
I heard that was a terrible fucking movie.
What?
But
Christopher Robin.
It was good. It was awesome. Dude, he was amazing in that movie.
It was fucking great.
Yeah, but was the movie?
I took my daughter.
It was fun.
So
it was fun.
My daughter.
I read a bad review of it, and I just
my daughter.
They're childless souls.
Of course.
They have no fucking.
They have no souls. Yeah, they're gingers. It's all redheaded fucking stepchilds that are
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Anyway, me and my daughter went to go. You know what? Fuck you with your ginger comment.
You're like blondish. You're not ginger.
Dude, growing up, I like when I was in when I was in grade school, I had red hair, I had the freckles, I had...
You grew out of it.
Okay,
I was...
for those of you who haven't seen his face,
like
he looks
Opie.
like... No, for those of you who haven't seen his face now, he looks like a young yet aged Doc Brown. Like that's...
Like, I think one of the worst things you can say to somebody.
Only ginger in my beard. That's it.
I'm not saying I wouldn't fuck you, man. I'm just saying you look like Doc Brown, okay?
Please say you won't fuck me. Please say you won't fuck me. Please, God, don't let Matt fuck me ever.
Hey, just say
if the lighting was right,
21 gigawatts. 1.21 gigawatts.
Actually, I'll say something. Throughout my life, I've actually had little weird instances where, like, I'm literally, like, since I was a kid, I've had things where it would just be like I was I think 3rd grade, and I was just I was standing in the middle of the field, and all I hear is the word duck, just in my head, like duck.
Were you playing Duck, Duck, Goose?
No, I
just
ducked
wanted
down.
to make sure.
I literally ducked down, and this douchebag who I hated had kicked a soccer ball, and it literally went right over me. Now, it wasn't someone saying duck. There was no one next to me. Like, there was no one within.
Just in your mind,
it was just
duck, and you're
it
like,
was just like duck, and my back was turned, and it was like duck, and I ducked. I literally like just dropped down to like check my shoe or something, and it goes right over me. I've had instances where I was in Tahunga Canyon, and I'm just sitting there. I love Tahunga Canyon. I'd go through Tahunga Canyon quite a bit, and I'd go with my friends, and I jumped over this little stream. I landed on this rock, and I was like, okay, which other rock should I go to? And I'm like, oh. Okay, which other rock? And then in my head, it went, jump. And I just fucking jumped straight up. And a rattlesnake, went right by, struck underneath me.
Damn.
And I mean, I've had little
I don't
instances.
believe you, but yeah.
I've had little
I'm
instances.
kidding, man. No, I believe
throughout my life about these things. And I'm the only person there. There's no one around me to go.
Can I tell you what I believe?
I think there's an ether.
It could just be I'm attuned to so many things. And there was no, it was just straight out, out.
Here's what I think. I think there's a bit of an ether to the world.
Yeah.
There's a bit of an attunement that people have, and we're not aware of it, and we don't really use it often, and we don't talk about it. And why does this world work for some people? How can you navigate this world of 7.5 billion people? And you're telling me that you just stories were oh, I just missed this car crash or got there because I did this or that. Now, at the same token, there's people who just die in car crashes, and there's shit that goes down, and what about them? Well, I guess their fucking shit didn't work. Or it just went fucking haywire because we need some shit to go haywire. But I think there's...
go ahead.
I believe in the whole collective subconscious or unconscious. I believe that there is this sort of... the world is malleable and semi-tangible to begin with. You talk about feeling happy or feeling sad. Well, you can also feel a table. These emotions and things in the world are things you can feel. So if you can feel happy or feel sad, you can feel a chemical reaction that causes an energy in your body that you can feel. Why can't you feel shit coming at you? A punch. They talk about this in martial arts. I took martial arts for about 2 years, and they were really chi heavy, and they talked a lot about feeling energy and vibing in. And some of it's all about muscle memory and visual neural kinetics and all that kind of shit. But some of it's also about just feeling your opponent's intention. If you can sense that intention,
I can explain that away. So science
you can feel your own shit. Hold on, you can feel your own shit. You can feel their shit too. And I think that might be true about the world. I don't really know. I can't prove it scientifically, but
you're living anywhere from a second to a second and a half in the past.
But not from you, Sean. You're fucking lying.
I was literally with people. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I got a bunch of drunk people in my car going back to Panorama. And mind you, I was a little intoxicated. I'm stopped at the red light. I'm waiting for it to turn green.
Well, that's a good omen for
And normally, when the light turns green, I like to go because I can see all the traffic. If there's no traffic, I just go. I'm at the light, it turns green, and all I hear is wait. That's all I hear is wait. And I'm like, what the fuck? And there's no one, all of them are just talking to each other, yammering. But no one's saying the word wait. So I waited 3 seconds, and I was like, and I hear someone, they're like, okay, go. They're like, go, man. And so I go. Now, mind you, the car that was next to me already was going. Bam! Hit by a fucking T-bone. Now, mind you, if I'd gone with that car, I would have been hit with that car, and we would have both been hit. but I waited just enough time that I got. And it's like
on occasion you can vibe into shit.
I couldn't see it.
You can
Maybe
vibe into important
peripherally
shit.
I saw it,
Like,
but I didn't think about it.
yeah.
But it just said, but it clicked to me. It was
Maybe
work.
it's your subconscious going, hey, I can see this thing out of the corner of my eye. I know what's up. Like, maybe the same thing with the rattlesnake. Maybe it's just your subconscious going, hey, dude. Like, you know what? I have a friend who says that he heard God talk to him. I don't believe in God, and I don't believe God talked to him. But at least not ostensibly. I can get into my beliefs later, but that's really cumbersome. He said God talked to him. He was really pissed off at somebody, and there was an incident with a weapon, and he was going to use that weapon. And he said, just as he was going to use that weapon, he heard God talk to him, and God said, he said that God said, dude, if you do this, this will be the last thing you ever do. He was going to use the weapon on himself. I don't think God was talking to him. I think that's what people use to describe their subconscious fucking yelling at them, going, dude, if you kill yourself, there's nothing else, fucker. Like, don't do it. You know, so no matter how pissed off you are, how worried you are, how scared you are that life isn't going to go right, don't do this shit. And I think that's what it is when people dodge shit or do shit. There's just a subconscious sort of inkling, and maybe they're picking up on, you know, looking at something or seeing something or feeling something, and you go with it. So I think that might be a real phenomena. I don't know how to explain it, but scientifically especially. But I believe it's a phenomena because I've heard it accounted for several times, and I just think it's too massive. There's too much testimonial evidence to completely discount it. But I don't know if I believe we'll call it psychic phenomena. I don't know if I want to call it precognition.
Your brain is a very complex structure of thought, and as far as thinking somebody's about to do something, right? Like this person's about getting ready to punch me, or this person's gonna fucking kill me, right? Like,
you're picking up on a lot of cues.
Well,
a lot of cues.
Communication isn't just verbal. There's a lot of physical cues that people project. So communication is both verbal and your body. Now, I think most of America has it wrong as far as like I know when somebody's lying because they itch their nose or do something. There really is no Pinocchio giveaway or anything like that. But
I don't know.
There are ways to tell if somebody's uncomfortable, if somebody's anxious. Those are definite like body positions that some people will put out. You know, and some people think that if you cross your arms, that means you're like closing yourself off to everybody. Personally, I think crossing your arms is more of like a self-soothing technique where you're like using it more to like make yourself a little more
give yourself some endorphin.
Comfortable. I'm with Matt. Right now we should be with Sean, but he is busy.
Is he
seriously
again?
In my bathroom right now. Why is it like every show involves Sean leaving to go take a... Oh, here he comes. Hey, Sean.
I was puppy petting.
Define puppy petting.
There's puppies. There's a Bailey and there's a other one and another one. I forget their names. I remember Bailey. At least I remember one of them.
Why are chicks named Bailey really hot?
And now...
that's a thing.
On with the show. Warning, the story you're about to hear may cause harm. There are some who claim that just having knowledge of this particular demon is enough to have her visit you. My story is going to take about 10 minutes.
It's going to happen to you.
If you don't want to hear it, if you don't want this to happen to you...
I'll just listen to it, pussies.
Skip 10 minutes. You guys have given your paranormal experiences. What I experience is this. I wake up in the middle of the night. My body cannot move. I feel a presence behind me. And
paralysis, yeah, I've had it.
It's called the old hag syndrome. And it is one of the scariest things anybody can ever experience.
I fucking hate it.
Like, I have felt a very dark presence. Yes. You're actually the only one that I've actually talked to that has actually experienced this. Do you feel like this presence is there to harm you?
I know I'm half asleep, and I know I'm in a sleep paralysis because I'm so aware of that phenomena. It's actually a neurochemical condition.
Some people also explain it as paranormal. One thing that
could both coincide. It could be induced by a paranormal thing, but we haven't proven that.
One thing that the paranormal community and the psychiatric community share beliefs in is that by telling this story they could start suffering from it.
Well, yeah.
Once you learn it's a thing, it could start happening to you.
Before it was ever, I knew it was a thing.
Sleep paralysis actually dates back to the Dark Ages.
Dates back before that. We've always had it. It dates back to prehistoric man.
There are many
even
theories.
Primordial man before man was man.
If you go to YouTube, type sleep paralysis
There's a reputable source.
or night.
We're on YouTube.
Well,
everything on the internet's true.
Yeah.
Is called the nightmare. The demon which is haunting us. Her name is Mare. That is where actually the term nightmare has come from.
Oh, cool.
Imagine you wake up and somebody's in your room behind you, but you can't turn over. And they're getting closer. I had no control of my body. I actually had somebody sleeping next to me, and it took every energy that I had just to wake up enough to mouth the word help. I couldn't even talk. I had no control over anything. All I felt was this presence. All I wanted to do was look behind me to make sure it wasn't real. But I had this feeling that if I looked behind me, that's when the killer would stick the knife into my heart.
Well, that's a very primordial feeling. And here's the scientific explanation for this, is that when you sleep, your body your brain shuts down your body's ability to move.
Yes.
Now, the reason it does this is because when you're dreaming, if your body were fully active to your neurological responses, to your neurological signals to move while you were dreaming, you'd be running off the fucking balcony.
Yes.
You'd be like, so this is a very, this is an evolutionary necessity that when we dream, you're semi-cognizant, so usually you don't walk off shit, but sometimes you just put, pillows in the oven. But here's the thing. So what it is your brain shuts down your body's ability to move. Now, sometimes you get caught between REM and this moment.
Yes.
And what happens is your brain shuts down your body's ability to move.
See, Matt, this is why I'm a fan of you, because you actually like done your research and you know this shit. Holy crap, you're the only person I've talked to that is
really
actually known what this is. Most people are like, I've never heard of that before.
I've experienced
Holy
it, I've
crap.
read about it, and I'm curious about shit, so I read up a lot of shit, and I watch a lot of YouTube videos, again, reputable sources. But anyway, it's these YouTube videos and these things I look up, and one of the subjects I'm semi-well learned about is sleep paralysis, and I think my experience, we'll talk about my experience with sleep paralysis. I had this most recent experience, the one that stands out the most, is I went on a vacation for 5 days. I drank myself fucking stupid, and a lot of hard liquor, a lot of shit, and then I got back to my house, and I didn't drink, and so my body was somewhat detoxed from all the drinking I did. So when that happens, I typically experience sleep paralysis, especially when it involved hard liquor in my early 20s. So I would experience it, and it also came with visual hallucinations because I couldn't move and I was half dreaming, and so I would see like fluorescent glowworms all over the room, and then I would see women coming up with like sort of dripping faces and sort of haggish looks and like long drawn hands, and they'd come up to me, and I'd be trying to move, and I'd be just thinking, wake up, please wake up.
Yes.
And they're just coming towards me, and I'm like, stop it. And I'm like, I had this feeling if they touched me, they'd get inside of me.
Yes.
And sometimes they'd put their fingers in my chest, and I would feel them entering me, and I would have to fight it so hard, and I would just battle them with my mind, and then I would finally just go, zoop, I'm awake, please don't fall back asleep, oh no, and I'd fall back asleep, and then I'd go right back into it, and she'd be right back there, and I'd try to wake up again, and it would just keep happening. Now I've learned to kind of not do that. It's happened several times since, but I can't tell you as vividly as when that happened, that specific time when I came back from a vacation and I was detoxing and it was like, holy shit, this is happening. I've had several experiences since then, but I've had girlfriends wake me up and be like, holy shit, like you were twitching and like almost crying and I couldn't get you up, and then finally I got you up and it was like, okay, you're okay. And I'd just be like, thank you. I'd be like, thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you. Like I couldn't get out of it. And the experience I've had with sleep paralysis, and I believe the science and the psychologists and the neurochemists and all that shit that know about this kind of thing, the neuroscience that goes into it. I don't know if the neuroscience correlates with anything supernatural because we've never disproven the supernatural. What if the neuroscience is reacting to something supernatural? What if the supernatural knows we're susceptible now because our neuroscience is susceptible? Our neurological impulses are reading at that vibration, are giving off that energy, and they know now we're susceptible. What if that's the thing? I don't know. But also, what if it's just a quirk of your neurology? I don't know, man.
Once I learned what my body was doing, they stopped. I haven't had a spell in like 2 years since I've researched this. Now, what I researched is, like what you were saying, your body during REM sleep paralyzes you so that if you dream that you're running a marathon, you don't actually get out of your bed and start running.
Marathon.
But
unless you're Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly.
Sometimes there is a glitch in the Matrix where when you fall asleep, you actually enter REM, but you don't fall what they call brain asleep.
Yeah.
So your brain is awake, your body...
Your brain's awake. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to edit that out, but now that you pointed out, I have to leave it in.
That's left in.
Your body is awake.
Yeah.
Your body is awake.
We'll do some push-ups.
I'm sorry, your body is asleep, but your brain is awake. So your body is paralyzed, but your brain is awake. And your brain isn't only awake, but you are conscious. You are conscious during a dream. So what happens is you start dreaming. When your body's paralyzed and you're awake, you start to panic. And if you start to panic during a dream, you're going to see some scary shit. Your dreams are happening, but your brain is awake to witness this.
That's another great point. As
what
you
I would
panic,
dream
your adrenaline spikes, you experience fear, and then you manifest your fears subconsciously and visually because you're dreaming halfway.
Hold on, I'll tell you something. Fine. Real quick. I'll make this fast. If I'm dreaming, I actually change my dreams. I actually legitimately change my dreams. I go, oh, this will be like something scary is going to happen. So I change it. I literally go, I don't want to be here anymore. And I change my setting. Somehow I change, it's like a fast forward. Like I can change what I'm doing in a dream. If I'm conscious of my dream, I will change it. Like if I'm actually experiencing a dream, I'll be like, oh shit, there's going to be a bunch of fucking zombies coming. No, I don't mind those dreams because those dreams are fun. Yeah, I'm like, I pull out fucking the suitcase and shit. I have one the other night I'll
tell you all about.
But that shit's awesome. Like, I have fun with that. But it's like, some dreams, it's just like, you can't see the killer. You know, like, you know you're about to die. Or it's like, I'm falling, and it's like, I'm about to die. I'll just change it, and I'm like, no, I'm flying now. I literally will change it. I'll be like, I'm flying. Or I'll be walking up to something, and I'm like, that's going to be death. And I'll just literally go, I'm going to fly above it.
Yeah.
And I've had dreams that literally became real. And to where I literally jumped out of my bed, and I made a motion,
you do it.
Like I'm holding a gun.
I've seen you do it, man.
I jumped out of bed.
I've seen you jump. When I walked up to you, I'm like, because you've been having a nightmare. I've walked up to you, and you're like going.
Yep. And I've jumped out, and I'm not conscious.
And I know I'm in for it. And I go, Sean, wake up. I'm like, buddy, wake up. The first time you swung at me, when I tried to wake you up from one of these dreams, I dodged it just barely, and you're like, and you're like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, you were having a fucking nightmare. I tried to wake you up. Calm the fuck down. You're like, fuck you. I'm like, dude, seriously, you're having a nightmare. I tried to wake you up. You swung at me. I'm not in the wrong here. I love you. Hope you're okay. And you're like, fuck, don't do that. I'm like, hey, when I see you fucking sweating it out in a dream, I'm going to wake you up.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, thank you.
And that's happened.
And then there was another time where I finally learned, don't wiggle you on your upper body because you'll swing at me.
Yep.
So instead, I wiggle your foot. And then you swing in the air and you can't reach me at all. And I go, what's up? And you're like, fuck you. And I'm like, Sean, you were having a nightmare. I learned not to wiggle your chest because you're going to hit me.
Yeah.
I wiggled your foot so you wouldn't hit me. And you're like,
don't wake me.
I also I've pet
cool.
Sean's head. This is the relationship Sean and I have. I seriously pet your head and I went, hey, buddy, go back to sleep. Sun's going down, baby.
Yeah, I know.
I woke you. I'm like,
he totally does.
I mean, Scarlett Johansson is the
he's a girl.
Yeah. Nowhere near as attractive, but no one is.
I'm not. No one is.
I think Charlize Theron and Scarlett Johansson are the two most attractive people on the planet, next to Chris Hansen. It's not Chris Hansen. Sorry.
Wow, that just sounded weird.
Chris Evans.
Wait, Chris Hansen?
Chris Evans. I'll agree.
Have a seat. Why don't you have a seat there? Buddy?
Have a seat, buddy.
I'll have a seat. I'm talking about The Walking Dead all day long.
Have a seat right here and call me Santa about it.
Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen.
Well, no. Then I want. Well, wait. That would be funny if I walked in and just started talking about The Walking Dead. Wait, this is Chris Hardwick? You're like, why are you here? You're like, I don't know.
Be like, she said she wanted to watch The Walking Dead. Yes, but she also said, and you said, well, watching The Walking Dead? They should do a show together where they bring pedophiles on to talk about The Walking Dead before they get arrested. Be like, so you were here to fuck an 8-year-old.
How do you feel about Rick's position right now?
About Rick and about how Michonne is,
That would be the most ultimately fucked up show on the planet.
some babies are getting hepatitis because the proper way to circumcise is not with a snip, it's with your mouth.
No.
Bite it off.
That's not a real thing.
It absolutely is.
No,
Wait,
please
no.
no.
Excommunicated Catholic priest do?
Are you seriously? Like, did we just get... Yeah, I was like going to say, did we send him over there?
It's not a sex thing. It's a religious practice that like right now is a big deal. Because the disease is being spread.
Look, Jesus said, don't fucking do it unless you need to do it.
Jesus said, yo, don't bite the tips off a
I married a hooker. And by the way, it's not Jesus. It's Jesus. I hate the fact that everyone says Jesus. It's Jesus.
It's Yeshua. It's actually Yeshua.
It is.
His name is Yeshua, and they translated it all kinds of ways. It was likely, as near as we can figure, based on the Aramaic and the writings and the vernacular of the time. But there's still no way to know, because holy shit, language changes all the time and the way it's written changes. Yeah. So our best guess is that it was Yeshua. Yeshua. And then Paul actually changed it to Jesus after. Paul, not the apostle, but the whatever the fuck he was later, who thought it would be more biblical.
Paul was an apostle, wasn't he?
Well, there's the apostle Paul,
and then the guy who wrote the
Paul
book.
200 years later,
who
who was like, no, there was this hippie, bro,
and
this hippie was cool as shit, and he liked to fucking do shit, and yeah, he walked on water, but that's not the point.
I know some really cool hippies. Shauna, I'll say you're one of them.
Sean's kind of a hippie. Sean's kind of a hippie.
The whole beard.
I'm a hippie?
No, you like to beat the shit out of dumb fucks.
Well, no. I mean, I could be a hippie.
You're like
you're
a
weird hippie.
necklaces away.
I don't make sense
You
as
don't
a
have
hippie.
puka shells.
Yeah.
You're a metalhead.
I check my ass all the time.
You're a metalhead libertarian, sort of.
I make no sense.
You make no sense. Well, no, I mean, I'm not sort of the same way.
Well, I don't want to pay taxes, so that makes sense. I'm total Republican on that aspect.
If you don't want to pay taxes, start a religion.
Yeah.
I tried that once.
Here's my thoughts on circumcision.
Let's
First off, you're cutting off 40% of the dopamine release you get during sex when you cut off the tip of someone's dick. Why would you cut off the tip? Why would you? They argue. Oh,
I'll pull it out.
Hold on.
I'm not cutting out anything.
Hold on. They argue that you need to cut off the tip to keep it clean. Maybe in the desert when there was no water, yeah. But if you have a flowing fucking river, pull your skin back, wash it, you're fine. Why would you need to cut off a part of your body to keep it clean?
Well,
this doesn't make sense.
When you take a shower as a kid, that's the one place you clean the most with a lot of rubbing.
I clean the hell out of that
There's no
thing.
way it's getting dirty.
I don't use any soap because I learned that burns.
First thing I go to is my area down here.
And fucking Dove lotion.
Don't get me wrong. The first thing I walk into a shower.
That's when you jerk the gherkin.
When I got the soap going, I put soap here. I put soap on my
buttholes,
and then
I'm
I'm
not supposed to do because it washes away the natural oils in the butthole, and that's not good for you.
I'd rather have a clean butthole.
You know what? Go fuck yourself, because I like to get
I can't
all that
if I wash
out.
all the oils off of my butthole.
In America, we use toilet paper. You need to
learn.
wash your asshole with soap. Unless you have a bidet.
True, yeah.
But yeah, in America, you use toilet paper, but you just smear it
I have
around.
a bidet in my
Shit
house.
needs to be washed.
So, by the way, my
bidet is gonna be a down and out college girl that needs money.
I had a friend who actually
she's just gonna.
I had a friend who hit a bidet in France,
and I'm gonna slap her cheeks. No, another down and out college girl is gonna slap her cheeks, and she's just gonna shoot water in my butthole.
I had a friend who took a dump in a bidet in France, and called me right after because I told him about bidets, and his drunk ass went and decided I need to go take a dump in this fucking toilet.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And he went to flush.
He took a dump
and flooded the bidet.
He shot a bunch of shit.
He flooded the bidet. So not only was it shooting up his ass, it was shooting up his ass. At the same time, there is water coming up with all of this fucking shit up his butt. And he screamed bloody murder. And I got that call. And I allowed my ass.
Called you?
He called me because I told him, don't shit in the bidet. And he called me. And then his, ex-wife now.
Don't shit where you eat. Don't shit in the
Ex-wife,
bidet.
she had called me half an hour later going,
wait.
we changed hotel rooms because he fucked up. And he goes, well, let me rephrase that. He really shitted everything.
Look, guys, I understand that you can't shit in the bidet, but can you shit in the bidet after tomorrow?
Oh, you cannot.
I only had
that was good. All right, that was good.
I've only had the opportunity to use a bidet one time. I gotta say, it was a very good experience. I felt very clean and it was quite pleasurable. I'm a firm believer in the bidet. Or wet wipes. Don't use dry toilet. You're just smearing it around if you're using dry toilet paper. Use baby wipes. Moist wipes.
I get it. Like, I get the shoot of water, like, clean off your butthole, then dry it down.
Very important.
I get it. I'll set up the pad sometimes, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm kind of busy. And I'm just like, I'm working with the kids, I'm doing a bunch of things, and it's like, what, take like 20 minutes out of my day to go do that? My kids love me to death. And they're like, I love you, Stinky. So I don't worry. Like, I have no one to impress, you know, per se. But what I love is, like, the girl I'm in love with is up north. So, of course, yeah, I mean, as soon as we're like, boom, 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 of course everything is going to be like, yeah, I better clean my freaking everything. But it's like, at this point, it's like, what? Like, what do I have to do? I can go to the store.
Understand. When I had a girlfriend, every day I was showering, every day. But now that I don't, you know, there's some days I'm just like, I'm good. Mm-hmm. The TV ain't going to tell me I stink.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, my kids are used to me. You know, my ex-wife is used to me. You know, like, everything is used to me. So it's like, what do I have to do? I go to the grocery store, and I'm not kidding. I go to CVS. I go little places. All the people I hang with are used to me, so they don't go, Sean, you smell. No one does that because they're so used to me that they know my smell.
I am that guy. Yeah. I will, like...
When I bathe, they get weird about it. They're like, who are you?
If you smell bad,
yeah,
I will tell you, not because I'm trying to shame you in any way or not because I'm trying to put you down. It's just because maybe you don't know and you need to know. Maybe nobody said, hey, brother.
I agree.
You have a serious odor and, like, it's not cool.
I agree.
Sometimes you
Sean
need.
stinks.
Sometimes.
Which reminds me, do I?
You need to be the guy.
Oh yeah, dude. I
Is that
noticed
a
in my
thing?
car earlier, dude. I noticed because you gotta bathe every day and put on deodorant.
I did it the other day.
I don't smell that.
No, dude,
I don't
do
smell
it
that.
before yesterday.
No, you gotta every day. You gotta get in a shower.
Man. So every day
and put on deodorant.
Yeah,
so you're smelling in my car, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, "What's?" I'm like, "Oh, Sean."
If you
so
shower
I have to do it,
every
like,
day,
every
you don't
day?
need deodorant.
Jeez, you know this, dude. I'm not playing this.
Oh God, who does this?
Everyone.
No,
most humans with access
But
to
it
running
was
water
like-
and deodorant. Sean just says shit. If anyone's ever noticed it, Sean says shit, and then afterwards. He gets so lit. No one sees Sean's face.
You were so proud. No,
everyone
I get it, but you were so proud of yourself.
Film us doing this because when Sean makes a joke no one gets, he doubles down by smiling and tapping your shoulder like you get it and you're happy about it too.
Imagine
no one understands you, dude.
Imagine your dog is like
you,
just took a shit on the floor, and like your dog is like, I'm so proud of this.
Shit. It was like, look at my shit on the floor.
It's
and you're
a
like,
shit on the floor.
That's a shit on the floor.
But yeah, he's so proud of his floor shit.
Look what I did. Except that dogs are ashamed of their shit, and Sean doesn't have the good sense to be super ashamed of the joke that didn't make any sense.
Always leave him wanting more.